to please come to as many of these sessions as possible. Yes, you can go and see the replay on our Facebook at facebook.com/gew.sxm for most of the content. However, the meat and the potatoes is being able to interact and ask questions. So again, happy Global Entrepreneurship Week. My name is Ife Badijo, and what you may be seeing on your screen is the face of a world changer. Wendy H Lewis has so many gifts, but more than anything, she can impart knowledge in such a dynamic way that you have no other choice but to be transformed by her presence. That has happened to me on more than one occasion interacting with her. She hails from the beautiful twin island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. She is amazing. She is dynamic. She is in media. She is in social work. She is a protocol specialist and marketing strategist. Please help me welcome none other than Wendy H Lewis.
Thank you so much, Ife. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who has joined us this morning on the Facebook Live and also on the Zoom platform. As Ife said, my name is Wendy H Lewis. I hail from the beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And today I am going to share with you how you can increase your profits. I own the Trinidad and Tobago Corporate Training Academy, and it is my distinguished pleasure to partner with iFounded and Ife Badijo for this initiative. This is what today's agenda actually looks like. So you need money to make a profit. So I'm just gonna start to flow. You need money to make a profit. The acronym for money is what I'm gonna go through with you. So buckle up your seatbelts and recognize that mindset is everything, opportunity is key, products or services must be needed, and empathy is a powerful people skill, and the yearning for financial freedom, which includes your passion and commitment, is what you need to make a profit. Then I will touch on strategic marketing, and then I will open the forum for questions and answers. And I hope you guys are interactive, because that's how we're gonna have this done today. So if you guys are ready, we are going to rock and roll. Characteristics of an entrepreneurial mindset. So iFounded is an amazing initiative, and they also have an opportunity for people to pitch. They have an opportunity for young people, in particular, individuals who are striving to be entrepreneurs. And a lot of people like the idea and the concept of owning a business. A lot of people like the idea and the concept of the title. A lot of people like the idea and the concept of saying, this is who I am and this is what I do. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you have all those fancy titles and you're broke, it makes no difference. You might as well go back to being employed, because characteristics of an entrepreneurial mindset are key. Actually, so key, it is unbelievable. There are different types of mindset. So what I want to do is I want to go through and define those types of mindset with you. The definition of a growth mindset. Just the word growth tells you a lot. You must have the willingness to learn. So I'm going to pause there, because you ought to be coachable. No matter what type of, even if the business was handed down, if you're now starting, if you are an expert in your field, you need to be coachable. You must have a willingness to learn. Although I have the Trinidad and Tobago Corporate Training Academy, which was formerly the Trinidad and Tobago School of Protocol, there are people who pour into my life daily. There are people who pour into my life all the time. There are people who I seek counsel from. There are people who I depend on to assist me with guiding my way through my entrepreneurial journey. And I've been doing this for quite a number of years. So you must have a willingness to learn. That's being coachable. You must be eager to adapt and change. Else you'll be broke for the last 8 months, because we're in the middle of a global pandemic, which no one anticipated, no one expected. I had 7 speaking engagements canceled when the global pandemic hit at the beginning of March. 4 in the United States, 3 down the region, canceled completely. Our borders are still closed. I'm sure many of you all who have tuned in, your borders are still closed. You have restrictions. So I had to find a way to adapt and to implement changes. So all the training that I do normally in a room where I have to provide the catering, extensive marketing, etc., high budget, all the rest of it, I needed to adapt and come into compliance with the changes that are taking place, which is why I'm talking to you online. I could be in Trinidad and Tobago and speaking to you no matter what part of the world you are, whether you're tuning in St. Martin, whether you're tuning in Curacao, whether you're tuning in from Barbados, you're here. There are always opportunities in the middle of a crisis. So there are advantages to you adapting. There are advantages to you accepting change. Because here I am doing what I do. I've saved Ife ton loads of money because it would have been a flight, it would have been a 5-star hotel, it would have been ground transportation, it would have been per diem, it would have been meals for the day. Come on. So because we've adapted to change, whilst the global pandemic is not something that has been welcomed by anyone, we recognize that there are opportunities in the middle of a crisis. And when you embrace those opportunities, you adapt and you change. They believe in team, these people with this growth mindset. No man is an island. You cannot do it on your own. Even if you're self-employed, no matter what, you cannot do it on your own. No matter what type of business you have, people need people. And of course, a wealth of ambition. You have to want more. These are the types of mindset you need to survive. And this is the bedrock of it, so that, and I'll show you the transition from this mindset to not just increasing your profit, but maintaining the momentum with your profit. Because sometimes we take off like a 100-meter dash and then we stall and we have to, what we say in Trinidad, you have to now backpedal. So the willingness to learn, eager to adapt and change, believe in team, and possess a wealth of ambition. That's a growth mindset. That's the type of mindset you need. That's the type of mindset you ought to embrace. Those are the type of characteristics you want to share with people. And then we have a fixed mindset. You get to choose whichever mindset you have. There's always room to change. So the fixed mindset says it all. You have completely refused to change. That's when you refuse to change based on culture, based on personal and or religious beliefs. You just refuse to change. So your attitude is, well, I've been doing it like this for the past 2 years. Ife cannot tell me how to do it. I am not coming on this platform. I will wait for the borders to open and maybe I'll catch iFounded next 2 years. That's a fixed mindset. So you lose out on an opportunity to create and impact change. Because for me, I like to take everything that's on the inside of me and pour it into others. It's no sense keeping all the knowledge for myself. We are here to create change and impact lives. And sometimes it's based on culture, where you are, what you've been taught growing up. What have people been speaking into your life? What have you been accepting? And then you have those personal beliefs. That's when they say you're set in your ways. And of course, we have the religious beliefs. And that's a whole separate program right there. So you have to recognize, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? How do you see yourself by the end of 2020? A lot of people have been saying, oh, 2020 was such a horrible year. And when you mention 2020, they start to scream, they start to cry, they get sad, the tone disappears. And it's like, oh, 2020 and everything. They have on makeup, they don't look like they have on makeup anymore. They're just downtrodden and sad and depressed. 2020 is one of my best years ever, ever. The opportunities that came my way in 2020, no other year has seen the level of opportunities. Why did that happen? Because I have a growth mindset. I decided, you know what? COVID is here, doing its thing. COVID, you do you. No plague shall come nigh thy dwelling, so I'm not even worried about COVID. I follow all the health guidelines and protocols, and I stay focused. because I have a growth mindset. So ladies and gentlemen, you ought to have a growth mindset. That's the only way you are going to win at life. That's the only way you are going to be able to expand and expound and do everything that you've been called to do. So that is the definition of a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. You get to choose. We're talking increasing profits, and financial freedom is a choice. You have an opportunity to create generational wealth, but it's all up to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's all up to you. So that was your mindset. Now remember, we're talking money, which is we're going to talk about the acronym for money. So we've just completed the mindset, and we're going to step into opportunity. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. So you're in for a treat today because you made the choice to join this call. You made the choice to register for iFounded. Success is when preparation meets opportunity, and opportunities change with the times. An opportunity that I may have had at the beginning of the year to travel and speak on a platform had to change because of the times that we're in. Opportunities come in many ways. So one of my greatest examples is the future of finance is digital currency. Whether you like it or not, whether you choose to embrace it or not, you are going to wake up one morning and realize that your paper money has lost its purchasing power. So the future of finance is digital currency. Let's explore. The first digital currency for using as opposed to trading is called dark coin. You can research it till you're blue in the face and then contact Ife to be a part of the amazing platform. When you show up, that's the only time you have an opportunity to show out. If you don't show up, you won't show out. Opportunities come a dime a dozen. Positioning is key. Position yourself. Open your mind. Research, embrace, seek out, want more, do more, become more. So you have an opportunity today to listen to not just myself, but all the other presenters that are coming on iFounded Day 2. And you have an opportunity today. You had one yesterday. You're going to have one tomorrow again. And you will be able to tap in to whichever opportunity is in alignment with your goals, which is in alignment with the vision you have for your life, which is in alignment with your purpose. You get to choose. And I'm going to show you why you need the mindset of an entrepreneur and why it is so important for you to embrace opportunities when they fall on your lap. I want to introduce you to something called the cash flow quadrant. This is an initiative that came about through Robert Kiyosaki, who's an amazing author, mentor, motivational speaker. And this is something that changed my life. It changed the way that I think. It changed the way that I even see myself as a budding entrepreneur. Let's look at this cash flow quadrant. You are in a box. So let me just make that pretty clear. You may not have known it before, but the system has placed you in a box. So growing up in the Caribbean, I've been told, go to school, get a good education, and get a government job. That's what I was told. I don't know if anybody else on either one of the platforms were told the same thing, but that's what I've been told. So I went to school, I got a good education. I didn't work for the government per se, partially yes, but 95% of this quadrant is active. That means the majority of us at some point in time are employed and self-employed, and the next 5% are business owners and investors. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you weren't aware, the system was set up this way deliberately so that you remain on the left and a certain class of people remain on the right. Is it fair? Is it right? You get to choose as well. If it's something that you weren't aware of, you are aware of it now, that you have been placed in a box. And we're going to talk through the box. When you're employed, you have a job. You work for the system. that system that's called government. You have a job. You have to put in the time to make the money. You have to put in the time to make the money. If you don't go to work, when your boss tells you to come to work, you will get fired. You will get fired. That is as simple as ABC. Whether you're doing an 8 to 4, whether you're doing a 9 to 5, whether you're doing shift system, you have to put in the time to make the money. Look, we have Sunil who started a business during the pandemic. And that is so correct. That is so correct. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're employed, don't feel bad. You don't need to feel bad because it's part of your journey. Because at some point in time, I myself was employed. But I'll share with you what happened. I came into contact with this cash flow quadrant and I was employed. And I looked at it and I said, okay, you have to start somewhere. So if I'm employed, that's not bad. That's not a bad thing at all. So then back in 2014, I opened the Trinidad and Tobago School of Protocol. And I was still employed while I was self-employed, working them both. So although I owned the job, I became the system, but I still had to put in the time. Trust me, when you start your own business and you're self-employed, you have to put in the time. And I kept looking at the quadrant, ladies and gentlemen. When you keep your eyes on the prize, things happen. Things happen. And I realized that the right side of the quadrant is a gray area. I don't know if they thought of that when they were creating the slides, but it's a gray area. And for us in Trinidad, the 5% is the 1%. For people in New York, the 5%, they have a 1% as well, which is called the Jewish community. In Trinidad, we have the Syrian community. So wherever you are, I am sure there are an elite group of people that are financially well off and doing 10 times better than you are. That's what they call those 5% people. So I was working at a prestigious university, putting in all the time. Sometimes when we have a tender, I'm working 1 a.m., I'm driving home 45 minutes from where I work. And a light bulb went off in my head at 1 a.m. driving home after I worked my butt off for a tender and we won the tender. And I'm saying to myself, you just put millions in the bank account of the person that owns this university and your salary has not changed. You went home at 1. You're going to get home by 1:45. By the time you organize yourself, shower, say your prayers, etc., and get to bed, you're going to bed after 2. And you still have to ensure that you get to work on time. You can't tell your boss, well, I left the office at 1 a.m. Your contract has not changed. And this light bulb went off in my head. And I said, hang on a minute. If I can put in all this time and effort so that someone else can increase their profits, I can do the same for me. And ladies and gentlemen, I took a leap of faith and I took the Trinidad and Tobago School of Protocol and I rebranded it in completion, rebranded into the Trinidad and Tobago Corporate Training Academy, where I now have people working for me and I own the system and I became a business owner. My mother, bless her heart, thought I was stone crazy because I had 2 jobs in the same place. I was a senior advisor and 3 evenings for the week, I'm a lecturer on a master's program. So I had 2 salaries from the same place. Who leaves that? Who leaves that? Steady income to take a leap of faith to become a business owner because I believed in me. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to believe in yourself. And one of the things I want to say here is, I know Sunil would have started a business in the middle of a global pandemic. I am sure they were the naysayers. You sure you know what you're doing? You don't know that it's called COVID. People are losing jobs, left, right, and center. Banks ain't giving no loans. No. You sure? Sunil, you right in your head? You thought this true? Those are dream killers. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. and do what you got to do regardless. Grab hold of your vision, ladies and gentlemen, and decide today is the day that I am going to take this leap of faith. And I did. And I said to myself, I did all the research. I made all the HR contacts. I had all the drive and ambition. And I kept hearing friends and family, girl, you think you made the right decision? And I'm like, you know what? Faith without works is dead. I took a leap of faith and I am going to work this thing. A contract must come. Somebody must say yes. 3 weeks later, nothing. Brand new website, marketing on social media, knocking on the doors of HR experts, decision makers, having meetings, driving up and down the highway. And I just knew in my spirit that I came too far for God to leave me. I said, Father God, you gave me the creativity and the innovation to do this, and you will not bring me to an open shame. 2 days later, I got a huge contract in our Twin Island Republic, Tobago. And one contract came after the next, and it just kept coming. It just kept coming. I remained in a place of humility. I remained in a place of gratitude, and I kept pushing. I kept pressing. And as Sunil rightfully says, in spite of all the rejections, persistence pays off. The race is not for the swift or the strong. It's for those who endure to the end. So I became a business owner where I have people working for me and I own the system, and a box was missing. I always knew. I always operate from the 70-30 rule because that's the only way you're going to increase your profits, ladies and gentlemen. I operate with the 70-30 rule. Whatever income I've generated, only 70% belongs to me. Only 70% belongs to me. Whatever your belief system is, 10% I tithe. And your tithe does not have to be to a religious organization. Your tithe could be you being charitable. It could be you stretching your hand to help someone, because if you help someone as you walk along, your living will not be in vain. What you give out, you receive. So you operate from a place of gratitude. So 10% of my income, I tithe. The next 10% of my income, I save. And the next 10% of my income, I invest. So I wanted an amazing investment opportunity, which is why I would have invested in digital currency and became an investor where money is now working for me. So you have an opportunity to own the investment. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this again. The future of finance is not coming. It is here. Ensure you get in touch with Ife so that she can go through with you, or you can be a part of an amazing, amazing investment opportunity that can literally take you from zero to hero, give you all the financial freedom that you need, give you an opportunity to create generational wealth. And I say this to my team all the time. It's time to shift. It's time to stop leaving bills and leave billions. And you can't, according to someone said to me, when someone close to you dies, you need to cry one cry. It must only be one cry. And that must be the emotions that you feel because of the loss of the individual. Not how am I going to bury them? Where am I going to get the money from for the wake? How am I going to do this? Do I need to take a loan? Do I need social services assistance? No, 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 no. You need one cry. Ladies and gentlemen, you have an opportunity to have money working for you. And you have an amazing opportunity to increase your profits. I know this is going to blow your mind. No one cares about your business. No one cares about your business. Sunil, what type of business are you in? Just type it in the chat quickly. What type of business did you start in the middle of a pandemic? Just type it quickly. What type of business did you start in the middle of, right, delivery? No one cares about your business, Sunil. Nobody cares about you and your delivery business. And he's probably thinking, what is she saying? What is she saying? Why is she saying nobody cares about my business? Nobody cares about your business. Here's what they care about. Your business is solving a problem. Your business And the reason why you started it in the middle of the pandemic and the reason why it will last is because your business is the solution to someone's problem. They don't care about you. They care that I need this item to get from one place to another. In the middle of this pandemic, I'm looking for a problem solver, and up came Sunil. So they see you as a problem solver. And the reason why Sunil was able to have this business in the middle of a global pandemic is because he found a problem and he allowed his business to become the solution. So ladies and gentlemen, nobody cares about you and your decor and your pretty fancy name and how many times you tap your shoulder because you have a business. If it is not solving a problem, you will not be increasing your profits. We came to talk about increasing profits. Be the solution to someone's problem. Find a problem and let your business be the solution. And this is how, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people have survived. I took a look at some of the businesses in St. Martin, and I saw these 3 businesses came up. I just chose them randomly. Soulful Sandwich. COVID, you could be restricted. No matter what, you have to eat. You think you like Soulful Sandwich? You don't even care when they started, who the owners are. You don't care about any of those things. All you know is when you're hungry, you can go to Soulful Sandwich with your problem, which is your hunger, and Soulful Sandwich will give you solutions. Whether it's pastries or it's cupcakes or whatever it is, Soulful Sandwich will solve your eating problem. And then we have Rainforest Adventures. You need a break because life can give you all sorts. And when you're stressed out, or even you could be celebrating a birthday, it could be a honeymoon, you have a problem, you need to go somewhere that eradicates all the noise and the phone ringing and the children screaming and people calling you every minute for unnecessary things. You need a getaway. How do you solve that problem? You call Rainforest Adventures, you make a booking, and they solve that problem for you. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic. I see BGC Construction and Design. People are taking the opportunity to build in the middle of a pandemic. People recognize a lot of people has their mortgages depleted and they're now forced to rent. Some people can't afford to maintain their buildings anymore. They're losing it. Construction companies now have to redefine. People are taking one building and putting partitions and separating so that it could incorporate different businesses. People are utilizing their land because they see it as an income generator. Land that people have had just sitting down there doing nothing. They realize now we need to put something on this land because it can be an income generating business. So ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of a global pandemic, there are always opportunities. Be the solution to someone else's problem. Don't choose a business because your friend has one. Don't choose a business because you just like that business. Are you solving a problem? Because if you aren't solving a problem, especially in the middle of a pandemic, you will not be increasing your profits. We came today to hear about increasing profits. Ladies and gentlemen, so we dealt with the mindset. We dealt with opportunities. We dealt with needs, what you need to do. And then we have the E, which is the acronym in money. Empathy is the ability to identify and understand another's situation, feelings, and motives. I told you before, we need people. We need people because in this season called life, in this season where you are in the middle of your purpose, losing is not an option. You cannot afford to make the wrong choice and make the wrong decision in this season. Losing, ladies and gentlemen, is not an option. You got to win at life. You have to find a way. You have to be passionate about your dreams, your vision, your goals, your ideas. You have to win at life. And the right tools will save you money. Do not wait for a crisis to sound an alarm. Be prepared. Be prepared. I didn't find out about Zoom when COVID came. I was using Zoom all the time. Not as often as I do now, but I familiarize myself. I am open-minded. I stretch my mindset so that I can learn more. I can incorporate more. I can embrace more. What is this about? I don't understand it. Somebody from my IT, what is this? Well, this is what they use for this. And, you know, you can do stuff online. And okay, so, okay, I am a motivational speaker as well. So I love to gesticulate and walk around the room and engage people on that level. So yes, sometimes it feels claustrophobic, but I have learned to adapt. Timing is everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask an amazing question because we're talking about empathy, we're talking about people, we're talking about understanding people. Is it possible for one idea to change the world? Ladies and gentlemen, we have so many softwares, we have so many opportunities to embrace in the middle of a crisis. And you're probably saying, I have a business as well, but people are talking about COVID. How do I approach these people? Everybody you approach, they're giving you a no. Everybody you approach is speaking COVID language. COVID becomes a new language. So we have English, Italian, Spanish, and COVID. Everybody's talking COVID. So ladies and gentlemen, it is possible for one idea to change the world. And this is something I want to share with you because it's something that I use every single day. Some of you all who would have registered for iFounded would have received a link from Ife to crack your code so that she understands more about you. When you understand someone and you apply empathy to your understanding, you are able to treat with them differently. You are able to get a yes out of everything and everyone. So it is possible for one idea to change the world. And I am just going to play a short video with you to introduce this idea to you. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called Bank. And Ife would have just posted a link so you can crack your code. This is a personality-based software. It's personality-based, it's people-focused, it's profit-driven because we're talking about increasing profits. The only methodology in the world scientifically validated to predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I use this every single day. Trust me, every single day. Every single day, I'm cracking codes, I'm cracking codes, I'm cracking codes because it really works. The BANK is an acronym. So blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge are different personality types, which we all have, but we have them in different order. So you would see next to my name, it's BKNA because I'm a blueprint. I dot my I's, I cross my T's, I operate with systems, policies, and procedures. Then I'm knowledge. I'm forever researching. I need to know all the details. Then I'm nurturing, I'm action last. So ladies and gentlemen, once you know the personality type of the person you're about to engage, it makes life easy. It makes life so much easier, ladies and gentlemen. So blueprint, action, nurturing knowledge, you have an opportunity on the Zoom and also on the Facebook Live to crack your code. Now, what I want to share with you, this bit is really huge. 4 things to avoid when you are yearning for financial freedom. 4 things to avoid. By now you would realize I love acronyms. 4 things. Last. Lifestyle creep. Ladies and gentlemen, what is a lifestyle creep? That's when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. So as you increase your profits, you want to keep up with the Joneses. So your income increase, your lifestyle changes should remain as needs, not wants. I'm not saying don't live your best life. But if you start your business and in the first 6 months, you've earned a profit, you don't go out and buy a Rolls Royce. Are you sure you're able to sustain the profits? Give yourself time to grow. I'm not saying don't embrace the finer things of life, but be wise. Be wise. Don't take a lifestyle sprint. Do not take a lifestyle sprint. Take your time, watch your money multiply, make sure you save, make sure you invest, make sure you do your tithes and part. You can expand your business because remember, this is about increasing your profits. Increase your profit means momentum, continuity, not a one-off increase. Not 1 month you have an increase, next month you're like, what's gonna happen? Then the next month, then you, as they say in the Caribbean, you bite off more than you can chew. So when you start to make profits in your first 6 months, you change your house, you change your car, you start to dress differently, you're doing everything differently. And then the next 6 months, you're like, wow, you have to give it back or they come and take it. Avoid lifestyle creep. Avoid amnesia, because we tend to forget our source. We tend to forget who assisted us to get where we are. We tend to forget the things that we learned along the way. Never forget your source, regardless of your religious background. Never forget your God. The folks who helped you along the way, do not, no. You want to avoid amnesia. Then you want to avoid shifting focus. Stick to the plan. Remember why you started this business: to solve a problem. Find the problem. Become the solution. What is your short-term goal? Yes, you have those. Medium-term goals, have some long-term goals. Where do you see your business in the next 5 years? You have your vision board. At the end of this first year, when we get the profits, this is what we're going to do. We may increase and advance some things, etc. By the second year, we can have another outlet. By the third year, we have another outlet. And by the 5th year, we have an outlet in each geographical location. Then you branch across regionally. What's your vision? Stick to the plan. The love of money is the root of all evil, although money answereth all things. But don't get so caught up in the profits that you forget that you need to continue increasing the profits, and the increase in your profits should not be a one-time thing. And lastly, your T, trailing behind. You have to move with the times. You have to move with the times. Sunil, who has his delivery business, I am sure he's using something online, whether it's Microsoft Excel, whether it's a spreadsheet, whether it's a software, whether it's a social media presence. He could put up a billboard and say, okay, in the middle of COVID, if you need assistance with your delivery, call this number. With all the restrictions in place, how are people seeing those billboards? He has to have an online presence. Move with the times. Keep researching and exploring, because technology is an asset. So those are the 4 things you need to avoid if you are yearning for financial freedom. 4 things to avoid: lifestyle creep, amnesia, shifting focus, and trailing behind. And 12 steps to social media marketing success. I'm going to go through this quickly so that we have time for the Q&A. Research. I'm going to tell you, research, research, research. And that's the first thing. And I noticed Sunil mentioned that as well. How do you find the problem? You have to research. What's happening? What are the needs of the people? Choose. Only choose to utilize the networks that apply to you. So if you're in a business doing delivery, you're going to target that sort of audience, people who would need products to move from one place to the other. State your key performance indicators. State them. What do you want? What do you want? Write your marketing playbook. That's like your marketing business plan. Align the members of your company around the plan, which means the team of people that you're working with, they must tie into the vision you have for your business. Do not hire people wild. Make sure those people aligned. Take 30 to 60 minutes at the beginning of each week, which is like when you have your team meetings, and make sure that you stay in the course. Make sure that your team members understand your plan, your goal, etc. Create a content bank. You could use a spreadsheet for that. Put your plan in the spreadsheet. What are we going to do? Where's my target audience? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Twitter? Where are they? You must know your niche market. Post relevant content. You can't have, and of course I'm going to be using Sunil as an example because he's now my friend. He's now my friend and he's sharing the platform. He has a delivery business. Everyone's online. Your target audience will be corporate. So let's just say you're targeting corporate individuals. You share that on Facebook. You will have a Facebook page. You may even go onto LinkedIn. You could use Instagram. You can use Twitter. The corporate clientele is not on Snapchat. Treat all social channels separately. That's number 9. So you know the Instagram audience. You know the Facebook audience. You know. You must know. You must know your audience. Assign someone. Delegate. Quick, delegate. Do delegate. You have your people, you delegate accordingly. You must know people's strengths, know people's weakness. Schedule your reporting so that you can monitor and evaluate. In other words, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the business. So even when Sunil does all his deliveries, at the end of the week, he will know how many companies he has delivered to. He will know which company he delivers to on a frequent basis. He will be able to build relationships with those companies. He will be able to do follow-ups. He will be able to understand how to monitor, how to evaluate, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to be able to follow through these entire 12 steps which you analyze. You have to be able to follow these 12 steps to have your social marketing success. Correct, data is everything. And now we're moving with the times. Everybody's online. School is online. In Trinidad, we have school is online. Children aren't going to school. Everything is online. So even teachers and facilitators, they have to know what they're creating. They have to know what they're posting. They have to know how they're treating with people. They have to know how to align different things. Data is really everything. Which is why even when I was preparing for today, I researched companies in St. Martin. I can't show companies in Trinidad and Tobago, although I'm from Trinidad and I am speaking to you from Trinidad. That's not my target audience. Although we have people from Trinidad on the call, this is an iFounded. This is an initiative hosted in St. Martin. So you do relevant context. Put things into context using relevance. So ladies and gentlemen, those are your 12 steps to your social media marketing success. So now I would like to hand over the forum to Ife so that she can manage the Q&A. So I will be able to take, okay, beautiful, the questions have started, I love it. Crystal Richardson says, what are the new Instagram algorithm updates? First of all, that is something that is an alignment with which Instagram platform you're using first. So first of all, you need to understand the platform, else the updates will make no sense to you. There's Instagram for personal, there's Instagram for business. And a lot of people aren't even aware of that. So they use personal Instagram for business use, and then they can't understand the algorithms, they can't see the updates, they're not seeing stats. All of it, you have to firstly ensure that you're using the right type of platform for your business. And it's according to your business type. It's according to how you set up your Instagram. And when you go into your profile, you go into settings, and it gives you one button away. You will see all your algorithms, and it will be able to update automatically. And you can also link Instagram to other social media platforms. So let the questions flow. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. So Ife, do you have a question?
First and foremost, before we dive into the questions, please show some love to the incomparable Wendy H Lewis. You all know that I like to bring people who bring it, and she just kicked off this morning. She was a shot of espresso. If you were asleep, you got a caffeine shot and got woken up real quick. So please show your love to Wendy, and we really appreciate all of you being here, whether you're in the Zoom chat or on Facebook. For those of you that are in the Zoom, you're more than likely going to be pitching at some point. And so we appreciate you asking your questions and getting involved today. I see Master Wendy. Cool.
Thank you so much. I think Sunil I saw a hand raise.
Let me.
And it disappeared.
Yeah. So if we, okay. So also to Crystal's point, and to add to what Wendy was saying, it is very important for you to understand the platform you're using and how you can maximize that for business. I see it also on Facebook, where people are using their personal Facebook for business use. And it's okay if you're building a personal brand, but if you're looking to build your company brand, there are different ways of doing that. And then there are some insights that you don't get from a personal page that you get from a business page. So you're not going to always see the statistics, right? And I just Googled quickly, because I also was curious. I said, well, let me Google it and see what they say about these Instagram updates. And there is not a very good review about the Instagram updates based on Insider. But one of the main things is that they moved the notifications. So if you're used to seeing it in one place, it has moved. And they added a major Reels feature. And so the Reels is to compete with TikTok. And they have now also shopping icons. So if you are in business, that might be if you have a product, that might be interesting for you, because then you can categorize it or catalog it on Instagram. The challenge though with that for us on St. Martin and Curacao is, how do we get the money, right? So that, just be very aware. Sunil says, how do we convince people to see the problem that's clearly visible? That's a very good question, Sunil. Wendy?
Yeah, so first of all, which problem are you referring to? Is it any problem in general, or is it a specific problem as it relates to the global pandemic, etc.? I'll just give a broad scope because I know he's typing away. How do we convince? Right. Specific problem like accept, beautiful. That's mindset. So first of all, so people tend to resist change, full stop. No matter whether it's pandemic, no pandemic, people resist change. They set in their ways. I am accustomed doing it this way. And then you need to, first of all, one of the things that I will say, highlight their problem. Don't highlight the problem you see. Highlight their problem. So for example, this person has a business and they need to get their goods and services from one place to another. So you speak to them from a place of their problem. Currently, you are experiencing difficulty in getting your goods and services from one place to the other because we have restrictions in place, transportation issues, etc. Allow me to assist you to get your goods and services from one place to the other. However, because of the global pandemic, I will not be able to physically come to you as I would normally do to take your order and then return to the other person with the products and services. The only way I can do it is online. Well, I'm not too tech savvy. I appreciate that. Neither was I. I had to start somewhere. And I know change may be a bit difficult, but you just start. What sort of device do you have? Well, I'm not too technical savvy. You will need a device, because if you're talking increased profits and you're talking survival, you need to be a part of what is taking place now. So you have to show them that you are the solution to their problem. You have to also show them that they need to shift their mindset to survive. Do you want to survive, or do you want to return from business owner, go all the way back to front to the quadrant and end up employed? So you have to show them where there's value in the solution that you're carrying. And it may be difficult at times, which is why the personality software bank comes into play. When you recognize the personality of the person that you're dealing with, you're able to communicate on their level. So you communicate with people based on their language. You communicate with people because it doesn't make sense. You, Sunil, speak in English, and the person with that problem is speaking Spanish. You could speak all you like. They're not going to understand you. They will not understand you because you're not speaking their language. So once you then decide, okay, great. I understand where you're coming from. You're an action type. You're set in your ways. You're going to refuse to change. So I need to approach you from a different angle. Awesome. Hi, Wendy. Now that's a great example of B2C example. How would you implement it for B2B? Now we have different acronyms in Trinidad. So when you say B2B and B2C, define. Go ahead, or Ife.
You help clarify. So B2C is business to consumer. So
right.
In the case of Sunil's ordering business, it can also be B2B, but the example you gave focused more on B2C, so business to consumer. And then Juan's question is about B2B, business to business. So his clients are businesses, and how would you use a similar example as it relates to that market, because the dynamics is a little bit different.
Right. So corporately, it will, so you can direct your customers to your, okay, that's the next one. Okay, let me deal with the B2B, right. So it's different when you're dealing with individuals to when you're dealing with businesses, and it's not that different. So I'll tell you what, you find the person, the decision maker. You speak to the decision maker, because if you try to speak to the individual who doesn't have the decision-making power, it doesn't make sense. So you're changing the mindset of someone who's going to go right back to their business place thinking, I really want to do this, but I'm not the person who makes the decisions. So you tap into the decision maker, because once you change the mindset of the decision maker, that's the person who will disseminate the information throughout the organization or throughout the various branches. So I hope that answers the question. How would you write? Working with website platforms like Shopify will solve a lot of your online order struggles. Instagram shop can also be linked to your website, so you can direct your customers to your website. Okay, that's just somebody giving another option. But I think what Sunil is alluding to as well, whilst all of that may be well and good, how do you get people to go there? Because having the Shopify and the Instagram shop and all these things, when someone is not tech savvy, you need to work on their mindset first. And then, because that language is a language for people who are aware. I know what Shopify is. I know what Instagram is. I have a website, but you cannot speak that language, I think it's Stephanie, to someone who doesn't know anything about that. So you have to let your prospect determine your presentation. Awesome.
So Wendy, I have an overall question for you, because we're dealing with a lot of startups and emerging businesses. What would you say is the top 3 things that they should do to ensure that they are increasing their marketing awareness while increasing profits?
The top 3 things, focus will be one. Focus. because the top 3 things to increase your profit, you have to keep your eyes on the prize. You have to stay focused on your product and your service that is solving this particular problem. And especially in the middle of a crisis, problems can change. It can go up, it can go down. So you have to keep your eyes on what is taking place. So that's called marketing trend. Keep your eyes on the marketing trend. Keep your eyes on what is taking place. So for example, with Sunil and his delivery, which area will require more of your service? Maybe the area furthest away from the town, maybe the area furthest away from the capital city. You keep your eyes there, because the people who are close to the town, that could be walking distance. Geographical location is key. So stay focused, keep your eyes on your products and services, ensure that you're using the right tools, ensure that technology is at your fingertip. I can probably give you 5 to 10, but those top 3, focus, I will say focus is definitely number 1. Marketing trend, I will say, will be probably number 2. Marketing trend, keep your eyes on the market. And number 3, sustainability. When you increase your profits, manage your finances so that you can have sustainability. So focus, keep your eyes on the prize. Marketing trend, keep your eyes on the market. That's correct. And of course, sustainability. When you start increasing your profits, don't forget your goals. Remember your vision, remember your plan, remember it. So focus, marketing trend, and sustainability, I will say, are the top 3. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was, as you were talking,
You're a quick type. I'm just seeing it coming up. Awesome.
In the room have notes that they can refer to, or they can print screen it and put it all, or copy and paste, however they want to grab that information. But yes, I do agree. In fact, we have the director of the Chamber of Commerce in the house, in the studio, who passed by just to say hi. And he's literally next to me, and he's there nodding his head going, top 3, yes. Sustainability, that's a problem, yes. He's just in it with you. So can you just quickly greet the people, Mr. Houston? He is masked, of course, because, you know, we're all in the pandemic.
Good morning, everyone.
Pleasant good morning to you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. I notice you obeying the health protocols. That's very good.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We have to, and probably we could have included that for good business. We have to ensure, especially in this pandemic, we have to ensure that we focus on the health of our employees and our employers.
Correct. I totally agree, and I'm sure we will chat again.
Most certainly. All the best, everyone.
Thank you. Awesome.
That was Mr. Jude Houston himself, literally just passed by, dropping in. I'm so excited to have such engaged, collaborating partners. So the Chamber of Commerce is just checking in, making sure everything is okay. Telem has been with us, supporting us through this entire process. I see the Curacao Chamber is there as well, supporting us digitally from Curacao. We also have the Central Bank of Curacao and St. Martin.
Awesome.
And Corpodeco, which is the Curacao Development Bank. So thank you all for just being so engaged. I mean, he didn't have to leave his office to come across to say hi, but he did, just to ensure that the entrepreneurs are properly supported and that we are supported in supporting entrepreneurs. So yes, definitely those top 3, I could not agree more. For those of you who are multi-passionate like I am, it seems that focus is the most difficult thing to do because you feel like you're giving up something. What I would suggest is focus on 2 to 3 things max, the low-hanging fruit for this period, and then jot down all the other ideas and phase it out. Whenever I don't do that, it gets very complicated. But when I say, okay, what are the top 2 to 3 things that I can focus on in this period? Give it 6 months, give it 3 months, give it a year, and double down on those things, then you still get to express your multi-passions, but at the same time focus and of course have the systems in place to do so, which Wendy had alluded to. So Are there any more questions? Because we have just a couple of minutes left before we round off the session and start to get ready for the next. You are welcome to type it in the chat. I'm going to just double check if there's anything on social media. And thank you all for joining us on early. I know it's early, but like I said, Wendy, she's more than a shot of espresso. She's more like a life, source, those defibrillators, I think they call them, when you're on your way out and they get it and pump blood into your system, pump some electricity into your system and shock you to make sure that you have life. That is Wendy H Lewis. She will come in and make sure that you are benefiting and shocked to life. Do we have any questions from the Facebook group? There is,
awesome.
For you, Wendy, just.
Oh, there's a question coming?
Yeah. No, there's love. Awesome, Wendy, that's what they said.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And Ife, thank you so much for having me. I never miss an opportunity to pour into others. Never, never, never. Because part of my purpose, well, the main part of my purpose is to create change and impact lives. And you do that in so many ways throughout your various initiatives. So I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to everyone who's been so interactive on the Zoom platform and on the Facebook Live as well. Thank you so much. You are more than welcome. And I will just leave my contact information for anyone who wants to connect, post the platform. So you would see, you can screenshot the page for my Facebook page, everything, Instagram, YouTube, my website. Feel free to make contact. God bless you all. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, I'll be around for the other sessions today as well. So I'll be tapping into the other sessions. I know we have some amazing stuff coming up. So thank you all so much. And let's just continue doing what you do, Ife. You're amazing. Thank you
so much, Wendy. I truly appreciate it. We're excited here. We're getting so much good feedback on Facebook and in the chat. And again, Wendy and I are working together. We have a plan to take over this region and the world by storm. We're very excited about some of the investments that we have invested in, and we see a clear path to financial and time freedom. So stay connected with both of us. You would hear more from me in my own platform about this, but there was no one else that I could think of when I wanted to think of increasing profits and being very intentional about how you do that than Wendy H. Lewis. She broke down money, she broke down mindset and the opportunity and making sure that you have a need. And all of that helps you to shift, right? Because listen, people, let me be very, very transparent. Money at the end of the day is a mindset. I'll say that again. Money at the end of the day is a mindset. Success is a mindset. Profit is a mindset. Anyone who has money, who has profit, who is achieving success has a different mindset first. And then all of that comes from within. So I am so happy that she focused on what she focuses on best, how to transform from inside out so that you can live a life that was intended for you and live free, right? And live a life very abundantly. So thank you so much, Wendy. I'm so excited that you're going to be around with us today. And we're going to transition into a tiny break. It's 10 a.m. right now, just after 10. So you can go ahead, grab your cup of coffee, grab some tea, maybe get you some breakfast if you haven't done so yet. We will be back at 10:30 with the tax seminar with none other than Quincy Lund from HBN Law and Tax. We're very excited to have him on board. And so you will be able to learn more, particularly for those of you from Curacao and St. Martin. You will learn more about taxation as it pertains to our region and what that looks like, okay? So be aware, like tax people, and taxes, they're your friends. And you can use that to scale your business. So he is going to do a short deep dive on what are the best practices to ensure that your taxes are helping you to scale. All right, so we will take a break and we will be back at 10:30. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. The room is open. We're going to play some